The San Francisco 49ers have been making waves lately with some key moves in their draft preparations, and the latest updates are fueling excitement among the fans and analysts alike. Not too long ago, I was discussing how the Pittsburgh Steelers were bringing in around 20 athletes for their top 30 visits, while the 49ers had selected only one player for their meetings. Now, things are changing quickly, and San Francisco is showing that they're getting down to business. They're starting to make significant moves, with players being brought in frequently. There's a lot of enthusiasm surrounding these changes, and I'm here to break it all down. We've seen the most recent list of players being brought in for top visits, and it's filled with a lot of exciting names. There's a particular name that stands out among the latest additions, although when this video reaches you, the list might have already changed slightly. But for now, let's talk about the latest updates and the players who are starting to make a significant impact in these visits. Among the new names added are Mike Williams and Omar Norman-Lott, who were both added today. Along with them, players like Kelvin Banks, Miles Frazier, TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson, Jalen Coners, Mike Green, and Harold Fanta Jr. are now on the radar. It's important to note that, depending on where you get your information from, this list can shift a bit, but for the most part, these are the names currently drawing attention. What stands out here is the addition of Omar Norman-Lott, who has been a player that's been under the radar for a while, but has now garnered significant attention. He played at Arizona State University from 2020 to 2022 before transferring to the University of Tennessee. Norman-Lott had a strong college career, and his performance has made him a solid prospect for the 2025 draft. His coach at Arizona State was Herm Edwards, a name that should sound familiar because Edwards is a close friend of John Lynch, the 49ers general manager, and has recommended players to the 49ers in the past, including standout wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. So, it's no surprise that the 49ers are showing interest in Norman-Lott. So what makes Omar Norman-Lott so interesting? Well, he is regarded as one of the best defensive tackles in this draft class when it comes to handling pressure. He boasts an impressive 18.9% win rate in pass rushing situations among defensive tackles, which is a key stat that shows how effective he can be when facing offensive linemen under duress. Despite weighing only 291 pounds, Norman-Lott has proven that he can explode off the line with an impressive 30.5-inch vertical jump, which is remarkable for a player at his position. It's this combination of explosiveness, strength, and agility that makes him an intriguing prospect for the 49ers. Let's break down a bit more about Omar Norman-Lott's college stats, as they paint an even clearer picture of why he's on San Francisco's radar. Over his college career, he recorded 89 tackles, 17 for loss, 13.5 sacks, and 2 pass breakups. In his 2 seasons at Tennessee, he accumulated 44 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 9.5 sacks, which are fantastic numbers for a defensive tackle. But there's one stat that stands out above the rest: his pass rushing pressure rating. He achieved an 81.6 rating in 2024, which was his best career mark, making him an even more attractive option for the 49ers who are looking to improve their defensive line. However, his overall ranking in the draft process is something that's a bit more up for debate. While Norman-Lott's statistics suggest a much higher ceiling, his overall ranking in the draft board isn't as favorable. He is currently ranked 66th overall, which places him lower than some of the other top prospects. But for the 49ers, who have a knack for uncovering talent that flies under the radar, this might be the perfect opportunity to add a versatile and dynamic player to their roster. While his ranking might not reflect his true potential, his production on the field speaks for itself. But let's not get too caught up on one player just yet. There are other significant names that are starting to make their way through the draft process, and the 49ers are keeping an eye on all of them. After Norman-Lott's visit, the next major update was the confirmation that Walter Nolan and Mike Williams are officially on San Francisco's radar. These 2 players have been speculated to be on the 49ers list for a while, but now it's official. Nolan, a standout defensive tackle from Tennessee, has been making waves with his college performance, and it's no surprise that he's getting the attention of the 49ers. Nolan, regarded as one of the top defensive tackle prospects in this draft, is now on the schedule for his visit to San Francisco, alongside several other teams. His visit to the 49ers adds another layer of intrigue to this draft process, and it's something fans will be watching closely. Nolan is a true disruptor on the defensive line. His ability to push offensive linemen back and generate pressure on the quarterback makes him one of the most highly sought-after defensive tackles in this draft class. Over the course of his college career, Nolan accumulated 48 tackles, 14 for loss, 6.5 sacks, and 3 pass breakups. His college production, coupled with his physical attributes, makes him a potential game-changer for the 49ers. As for Mike Williams, his explosive play style and ability to make an immediate impact on the line are also key factors in why the 49ers are bringing him in. Williams' ability to break through blockers and disrupt plays at the line of scrimmage gives him a lot of value in San Francisco's defensive scheme, which is designed to pressure the quarterback and stop the run. But these visits don't guarantee that any of these players will end up in San Francisco. The 49ers are known for their thorough evaluation process, and bringing players in for visits is just one part of their approach. It's important to note that these visits don't necessarily indicate that the 49ers are going to select a player, but they do show a deep interest in getting to know these athletes better. It's part of their strategy to assess fit, see how a player might gel with their system, and make sure they're getting the right person for the job. Over the years, San Francisco has had a pretty solid track record when it comes to finding talent through these visits, often picking players that other teams might overlook. The 49ers have been one of the most successful teams in the league when it comes to finding gems in the draft, and their thorough vetting process has played a significant role in that success. These visits are a critical part of that process, and as we approach the draft, it will be interesting to see which players end up on the final roster. Looking at the bigger picture, there's a lot of speculation about what the 49ers might do with their first-round pick. As the team evaluates these players, we start to see some patterns emerging. The defensive line, particularly pass rushers and defensive tackles, is clearly a major area of focus. This makes sense given the way the NFL is evolving, with teams placing more emphasis on getting pressure on the quarterback and stopping the run. The 49ers have a strong defense, but adding a few more pieces could make them even more formidable in the upcoming season. There's also the possibility that the 49ers could look to trade back in the draft if the right opportunities arise. The team is deep in talent, and there's a chance they could MOV. As we move closer to draft day, the excitement continues to build. The 49ers have a wealth of options at their disposal, and with these visits, they're getting an up-close look at some of the top talent available. The next couple of weeks will be crucial in determining which players they ultimately decide to bring in, but based on what we've seen so far, it's clear that they're taking a comprehensive approach to the process. The future looks bright for San Francisco, and no matter which direction they go in, it's exciting to see how these moves will play out. The strategy surrounding these visits and the growing list of players who are getting this valuable opportunity to impress the 49ers further highlights the organization's commitment to making the best possible decisions in this year's draft. As we move into the final stretch of the draft preparation process, these evaluations are crucial. Each visit gives the team a better sense of how these players fit into their long-term vision, their playing style, and how well they might perform in the 49ers' defensive system. It's clear that the 49ers are focused on strengthening their defensive line. The draft this year offers several intriguing prospects at defensive tackle and pass rusher, areas that have become increasingly vital in today's NFL. In the modern game, being able to generate pressure on the quarterback has become one of the most important components of a winning defense, and San Francisco knows this well. The team has already built a solid defense, but by adding more dynamic players to their line, they could elevate their game to another level. This is where players like Omar Norman-Lott, Walter Nolan, and Mike Williams come into play. These athletes bring the raw talent and physicality that the 49ers crave, and their potential fit with San Francisco's aggressive defensive philosophy could make them immediate contributors. While Norman-Lott stands out due to his ability to handle pressure from offensive linemen, Nolan offers a different style of play with his ability to dominate the interior line. Nolan's ability to win in double-team situations and disrupt plays in the backfield makes him an appealing choice for the 49ers. His tenacity and ability to control the line of scrimmage are qualities that could complement San Francisco's already formidable defensive front. His college career has been marked by his ability to consistently generate tackles for loss and sacks, and his performance at Tennessee has only fueled his rise as one of the top prospects in this draft. The 49ers know that adding a player like Nolan could give them another game-changer on the defensive line, someone who can take on blockers and allow the linebackers to roam free to make plays. Similarly, Mike Williams brings a different type of explosiveness to the table. His ability to break through blockers and disrupt plays in the backfield showcases his potential as a disruptive force on the defensive line. His strength and agility give him an edge in getting to the quarterback, and with his long arms and ability to shed blockers, Williams could immediately impact the 49ers' defensive scheme. His versatility in being able to operate both inside and outside on the line makes him a valuable asset to the team, providing them with flexibility in their defensive game plan. His size and physical tools make him a difficult player to block, and his quickness off the ball allows him to quickly close in on ball carriers and quarterbacks. The 49ers are well aware of how essential it is to maintain a competitive defense in a league where offenses are becoming increasingly potent. Quarterback pressure and the ability to stop the run are critical elements for a defense to remain effective in today's game. Adding players like Nolan and Williams, who can wreak havoc in the trenches, would not only bolster the defensive line, but would also free up other players like linebackers and cornerbacks to make more plays on the ball. The ability to disrupt the quarterback's rhythm early in the game often determines the outcome, and the 49ers defense could be set to take a massive leap forward if they add the right pieces. In terms of how the 49ers view these players, there's no doubt that each of them brings something different to the table. What stands out most, though, is their potential to help this defense in key areas. The 49ers have always been a team that thrives on physicality and speed, and all these players possess those attributes in spades. Whether it's Norman Lott's quickness and explosiveness, Nolan's ability to control the line of scrimmage, or Williams' strength and versatility, each of them could contribute to a defense that already has the potential to be one of the best in the league. But as much as the focus is on these key defensive players, there's always room for debate about how the draft will unfold. The 49ers might very well surprise everyone by selecting a player who no one expected to land on their radar. This unpredictability is what makes the draft so exciting. The team has done their due diligence, bringing in the top prospects, but how they ultimately prioritize these players will depend on what they believe best serves their needs in the long term. As the draft gets closer, there's no question that the decisions made during these final evaluations will have a significant impact on the direction of the team. The 49ers have a history of making smart draft picks, and while they may not always make the splashiest selections, they have consistently chosen players who fit their system and culture. This year's draft offers them the opportunity to further build on their already impressive roster and continue the success that they've had in recent seasons. The decision to bring in these players for visits is just the beginning of what could be a transformative draft for the team. And of course, the 49ers' interest in these defensive prospects also signals their understanding of where the current league trends are heading. The game is changing, and having a dominant defensive line is becoming increasingly important. Quarterbacks are getting faster, stronger, and more skilled at reading defenses, so it's essential to have players who can get to them quickly. With the players they brought in so far, the 49ers are making sure they have the tools to keep up with the ever-evolving NFL landscape. While we're not sure which players the 49ers will end up selecting looking ahead, it's easy to get caught up in the speculation and excitement surrounding these visits. But the reality is that these players will only get one chance to prove themselves at the next level. Whether they fit perfectly into the 49ers' plans or not, they're all looking to take their game to new heights in the NFL. The competition for these coveted spots will only get tougher as the draft approaches, and the 49ers will have to make the final call on which players will help propel them toward another championship run. The pieces are in place, and now it's up to the front office to make the right choices to ensure that San Francisco stays competitive in a league full of rising stars and powerhouse teams. The next few weeks will be crucial, but it's clear that the 49ers are doing everything they can to ensure they make the right picks. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In the high-stakes world of the NFL, player loyalty and team commitment are often put to the test. Christian McCaffrey, one of the league's brightest stars, may soon become the latest example of a player whose future with a team is uncertain. Despite signing a lucrative 2-year extension worth $38 million in June 2024, McCaffrey's relationship with the San Francisco 49ers appears to be fraying at the edges. As whispers of discontent swirl, fans are left wondering, could McCaffrey be ready to leave the team that brought him back from injury for one last shot at glory? McCaffrey's career with the 49ers has been a roller coaster ride. After being traded from the Carolina Panthers in 2022, he quickly made his mark by leading the league in scrimmage yards and touchdowns. His performance was nothing short of spectacular, culminating in an NFC Championship appearance and a Super Bowl berth in 2023. McCaffrey earned the 2023 Offensive Player of the Year award, solidifying his status as one of the best in the game. But as the 2024 season unfolded, McCaffrey's health took a hit, leaving him sidelined for most of the campaign and forcing him to confront an Achilles injury that sent him overseas for treatment. Despite his impressive contract extension, McCaffrey's recent struggles with injuries and the time spent away from the field seem to have left a bitter taste in his mouth. His decision to visit an Achilles specialist in Germany spoke volumes about the severity of the situation, indicating that McCaffrey's focus may now be on his personal well-being rather than the 49ers' long-term plans. Could these setbacks prompt McCaffrey to reconsider his future in San Francisco? It's hard to ignore the possibility that he might want to pursue a fresh start elsewhere. While the 49ers remain optimistic about McCaffrey's recovery, the question of his loyalty to the team lingers. After an underwhelming 2024 season in which McCaffrey recorded just 348 scrimmage yards and 0 touchdowns in 4 games, it's clear that the running back's dominance has been somewhat diminished by injury. Could McCaffrey be questioning whether the 49ers' Super Bowl aspirations align with his personal goals? Or perhaps he feels that a change of scenery could reignite his career and get him back to the form that made him a household name. As the offseason approaches, the fate of Christian McCaffrey hangs in the balance. Will he stay with the 49ers, working through his injuries and striving for another Super Bowl run? Or will he seek out a new team, ready to leave the past behind and start a new chapter in his illustrious career? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. McCaffrey's future is now one of the most intriguing storylines to watch in the NFL. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.